Hello everyone, welcome to the video. In this one you'll be hearing a new voice, a mysterious voice. And I just wanted to take a minute to introduce this individual to you so you actually knew whose voice you were listening to. So Gary Elson, I refer to him affectionately as my fish mentor. He's the first person who got me into fish keeping on a more serious basis. So I owe him a lot of credit for introducing me to this wonderful hobby of ours. Gary's been keeping fish for over 50 years, so obviously he has a lot of experience. He's a wealth of information. Over those many years, he's kept all kinds of different fish, but in general, he keeps smaller fish. Just to name a few: dwarf cichlids, barbs, gouramis, rainbow fish are the largest species he keeps right now. Some smaller catfish, various live bears, and killifish. Killifish are sort of his claim to fame, if you will. It's the thing he's been consistently keeping for the past 3 decades or so. Gary's actually even been published. He's helped write a few books. So yeah, he brings a lot of knowledge, a lot of information to the table. We're really excited to have him along as a contributing editor for Fluval. He's going to be producing videos on a regular basis about a wide variety of subjects. And I think what will be cool is that he'll be able to provide information about species that maybe you're a little bit less familiar with. So kind of shedding some light on, the hidden gems of the fish keeping hobby. So yeah, without any further ado, let's start the video.
Space, the final frontier. Space can look like a real frontier, a real border for our ambitions to develop really beautiful tanks full of really beautiful fish. If you live in an apartment, you don't have a lot of space to develop a hobby like this. But a micro tank can take about as much space as a houseplant can. They're quite easy to work with and can be made quite beautiful with plants and fish. I define a micro tank as anything under 40 liters, 10 gallons. Most of the time we're talking about a 5-gallon, 20-liter tank. Smaller than that, you can keep a betta splendens. They're fish that breathe air, that don't move around a lot because of their huge fins, and are quite easy to keep as long as you keep the water clean, give them a good diet, and take good care of them. I prefer an Aphyosemian tank. The Latin name sounds kind of daunting, but these are West African, Central African killifish of a group that lives about 3 years and spawns almost every day if you like breeding fish. If you don't, they'll eat their eggs for you. Don't worry about it. Now, small fish get eaten by big fish. So if you're a small fish, you have to adapt to that problem. What Aphiosemians have done is colonized habitats where there's no danger. Well, there's still always danger in nature, but where large predators can't get in. They like the shallows. They like the extreme environments on the edges of water. This is kind of good because when you put them in a small fish tank, they're quite comfortable. You're giving them a lot deeper water than they're used to in the wild, which is also very good, but you've got fish here that don't travel around a lot. The lack of travel ability has meant that you have many, many species. They become isolated from each other and new species evolve, which also gives you a lot of choice. Male Aphiosemians show off a lot. They spread their fins, they swim around, they show off for the kind of plain females. In the video, you only see males. They like to live in the relative safety of their extreme environment, but if they do come under attack, they jump. So you've got to be really careful that you have a really good lid on your fish tank. They're not community fish, not because they kill, but because they get killed. They're very gentle fish, they're very quiet, and they're not quick to the food. The other thing about them is that they like cooler water than most tropicals. Even though they come from around the equator, most of them are rainforest fish, and the famous forest canopies keep the sun out. The moving water that they like tends to stay very, very cool, much cooler than we expected, often room temperature for an average house. So we have fish here that don't need a heater, which is fantastic if you're aquascaping a small tank. Heaters kind of stick out. They're very hard to hide. So here you can set the tank up. You can have air-driven filtration, a sponge filter, a good lid, regular water changes, and some incredibly beautiful fish to enjoy for a very long time. I hope you've enjoyed this talk, and I hope you'll enjoy keeping killies. The more people keep them, the more available they'll become. Thank you.